Hi, welcome to the channel. I'm taking World Eaters to a 2-day 5-game tournament, and in my usual style, I'm doing it a bit different. So essentially, I'm going for my 3 Lord of War type list, which is Angron, a Brass Scorpion, and Scarbrand. Even though I know Scarbrand's a HQ, he still looks like a Lord of War. So it should be a really fun weekend at Sanctum Gaming, and my force is World Eaters with a Demons detachment. I've got 5 Berserkers, which isn't that many, but they're pretty good. If I had a Rhino, it would be even nicer, but I didn't have the points. 2 squads of 8 bound, one of which is the Exalted. Now they both hit very hard, the Exalted even harder, while making a lot of attacks each with high AP and damage. Also have the ability to stop you falling back from them on a 4+. And while they're surprisingly fast at 9-inch move, which is 11 inches near Lord Invocatus, I'm probably going to take them in a drop pod. And my drop pod of choice is the Dreadclaw, 115 points, you might be thinking it's quite expensive, but it can move after it's dropped. And the key thing is it can drop in turn 1, disembark its units, which can then charge. The first turn, anywhere on the board I want, my 8 bound are charging. Normal 8 bound actually have an ability to come in from strategic reserves in turn 1, that's on their data sheet. And there's nothing to say later on in the turn the Berserkers can't jump in the transport, because it can still move 12 inches with fly. Although the Lord Invocatus isn't my Warlord with his amazing trait, he is still a good HQ. Strangely, he's got fly and a 12-inch move, so he's really quick, and he gives out a +2 inches to move to core. Being fly makes him very useful, and he's going to cause a lot of problems with his melee as he ignores invulns. I'm taking a Master of Executions just because of how cheap he is, only 65 points for HQ. There wasn't a lot else I could take with the spare points. The fact he's got a built-in 6-inch heroic intervention is nice, and like all World Eaters units, he's actually really good in melee. And then we've got the big boys. The Brass Scorpion is going to come in from Deep Strike, with only a 3+ save and no invuln and only 28 wounds. It could be vulnerable, but when it does come in and charge, you roll 3d6 for the charge, which is amazing, so the chance of it failing are slim. And while it brings the only real shooting into my army, which is actually more shots than you'd expect, it's obviously got some big melee as well. After making the 3d6 charge, you got 7 attacks at strength 18, -4 AP and 6 damage a pop. Or you could go for the cheeky 21 attacks at strength 9, -2 and 2 damage. Unsure whether to start Scarbrand in reserves or on the field, he is going to be an obvious target and pretty slow at only 8-inch move. And it's one of those Khorne demons that gets more attacks the more injured it gets. It starts on 8 attacks with a weapon that also ignores invulns. Anyone that's near him gets +1 attacks, but he does make you take a 3d6 test against your leadership to see if you can fall back. And then you've got the big boy, Angron himself. Now really, Angron isn't that good. He's got a 2-up, 4-up invuln, 18 wounds, but then no other real damage mitigation, so you can take him out in probably one go if you really can. Now it's possible to try and shield him by using terrain, but realistically he's getting shot off the board. He is certainly target priority number 1 with his 16-inch move, and then his special abilities to either stop units falling back from him, give extra attacks to World Eaters, or allow them to reroll 1s. And his Warlord trait, as you have to make him the Warlord, means opponents that are within 6 lose OBSEC. So everyone will certainly try and take him out. He starts off with 12 attacks, 13 on the charge for World Eaters. And essentially he can delete anything, but probably most armies can delete him as well. But the main thing is he comes back with 6 blood side points. I'm starting Angron on the board first, and this may seem silly, but he is going to be target number 1, and that means he's a massive distraction Carnifex. The tournament is player-placed terrain, so it gives me a bit of opportunity potentially to screen him, but if the terrain has windows, then they're going to see him, and they're just going to blast him regardless. So fingers crossed for blocking true line of sight. So obviously the army is all about melee, but I've got a few things to keep my opponents on their toes, like the deep striking Scorpion, or the drop pod that comes down turn 1. They're going to charge forward, they're going to hit hard, they're going to die hard, they're going to come back again, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I'll be doing one of my roundup videos to tell you all about how the tournament went, so hopefully you'll come back to watch that, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!